Hi everybody, Richard Tremans here again, Artificial Lawyer TV. Today we're doing another product walkthrough, this time with BRYTER, a company that I'm sure you've all heard of, but we're going to be looking at some new features which they've produced. To tell us more about it is Michael Group. Hey Michael, how you doing?
Richard, hi.
Good to have you on the show. What are you going to show us today?
I will show you Beamon, our new product suite. We released it, now it's already 3 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago. Give you a walkthrough, show what we did under the rugs and also partly in public, and show you what the future of legal automation could be.
Fantastic, sounds good. Well, in time-honored fashion, I will disappear, and if you want to share your screen, please
Yes.
take it away.
Great. So, Richard, thanks for having me. Hi, everybody. I'm one of the founders of BRYTER. I am also the CEO, as I jokingly always say. I'm doing all the drama, I'm doing the marketing, go-to-market, all the investor relations, fundraising, but also involved with strategic go-to-market, of course, and new product directions. So we have been working on this for a while. Some of you know BRYTER as a no-code platform, automation platform. Our idea since the beginning was, how can we automate legal decision making? And then this is a bit of a, very philosophical question, but the actual one was like, where? Well, for law firms and for legal teams in their daily work. So legal decision making in a repetitive scenario. Why in a repetitive scenario? Because we have seen that things that are very strategic and are very deep, very bespoke, happen only once. These are the bet the farm scenarios. This is the complex stuff, and we are convinced that today human lawyers are still very good in doing that. But there are many areas where lawyers can get the support of AI and automation in breezing through things that are happening at scale repetitively and that are maybe not in a full risk scenario. And this is where BRYTER always focused. But then if you build software, you never change. You never stop. You change. Change is constant. So after building workflows, and I think we're a market leader in workflows in several markets. We're definitely in DACH. We're, I think, in London in the law firms, based on at least some of the reviews, we are a tier 1 provider there. And I think most law firms that have a workflow system have BRYTER. So we're like definitely the majority of applications there. So we are a leader in workflows. We did that. But then Gen AI comes, and we have thought, what does that mean? So clearly it's a wave. It's a big change. And if you're a workflow company, you can try to become the anti-hype company and say, like, we only do workflows until forever. Or you can say, you know what, we can enable the workflows to do more with AI, or even more, we can enable the AI to do more with the workflows. And we have decided to do both. So in the year 2023, we have decided to actually surf the wave and build more products. We were able to do that. We had the funding, luckily, and we had the customers that were willing to go with us on that journey. So many customers have been involved in testing. Many people have seen very early drafts of this. And many people have repeatedly told us what they liked, what they didn't like, and kind of told us and kind of reinforced us on the journey. This is exactly what we need. So 3 weeks ago, we announced our new product, which is Beamon. So if you go on our website, we now say power of AI, but with the precision of workflows. And one of our products that really embodies that is Beamon. So it is an AI assistant, not going to lie. It's the same as you would expect if you say, I want a ChatGPT, but for lawyers. It is an AI assistant that is chat-based, but it's a special one. So being a workflow company, we thought, how can we leverage what we know works and what we know people need in some use cases in an AI application so that you can do more than just chat? That was the idea. Like, don't just chat, do more, like do the next step. So jokingly, we said it's the AI that, is actionable, the AI that powers, the AI that kind of, gets you further. But the truth behind this is all a philosophical and almost like very boring technical observation, is that lawyers sometimes need a deterministic reasoning, and they need a very rule-based controlled structure around the AI. And as long as the AI doesn't evolve, we sometimes need the workflows also to help us to build apps that currently the AI cannot build on their own. So we need workflows there. So with this idea in mind, we built Beamon as the tool to help us use AI, but also to do more. So what does it do? It has basically two levels of applications in there. There are applications in there that are obvious because everybody needs them. And then there are some features that we think only we have. So I'm going to walk you through all of them and show you what we do. Three things we have. One, assist, obvious AI assistant, but it's agentic, several modes. It can do different things depending on what you want. I will give you some examples on this. BRYTER Extract is our due diligence tool. It's basically assist at scale, but it works on a number of documents, a number of contracts, and it can help you breeze through thousands of contracts in a second, get the data out, and work with the data. So it is really the classic tool everybody can use for turning unstructured data into structured data. You have many PDFs, you want to get information out, throw it into Extract. You have court files, you have meeting minutes, you have claims into Extract, data out. And then, of course, the workflow part. So not going to lie, I have been surprised to see workflows coming back to fashion a little bit over the last 12 months. A number of AI assistants in the legal space have suddenly rediscovered workflows as a direction. We are the workflow people, so of course we love to see that. And now, from our perspective, workflows can do many things. We have a powerful engine. So we selected workflows that we have seen work in many use cases and built them into Beamon in a kind of out-of-the-box, templatized fashion for use cases that people have all the time. Claims processing, for example. Due diligence red flag reports. Things that are just like happening all the time, and we build them in. So that means if you use Beamon and you, for example, review contracts with Beamon, you then have already an automation piece strapped to that, and you can automate further. I will walk you through this start to finish and give you an overview and show you these different tools, and of course try to highlight what is new and what is, I think, something that people request now in the market and what is increasingly becoming table stakes. So let's jump in. Beamon AI. Beamon starts with a start screen like all of the assistants, nothing new about it. There are some prompt libraries in here, and there are some use cases to get you started and also to help people in the organization to learn how to leverage AI. One thing is very true, like you have to do it yourself. You can't get fit by watching others go to the gym. You have to do it yourself. And the same is true for AI here. You have to try it out yourself. So somebody who gets this in a law firm or in an in-house team, they can, get started here and they have some ideas of what to do immediately. But for our demo here, I'll help you get started. So you have on the left, you have the three products, assist, extract in the workflows. And the assist is already here, and we can just like start using it in the exact same way you're used to using ChatGPT. So I can ask a very simple question and I will get an answer. So for example, what exactly is a change of control clause everybody is talking about in lease contracts? So this is like just a question I get all the time. People want to review lease contracts based on this. So you get an answer from Beamon out of the box immediately. So now this is an easy question because I just made it up. But if you have confidential information that you want to ask, you maybe don't want to use ChatGPT, and this is what Beamon is for as well. We respect attorney-client privilege. We host where you are. For Europe, that means we host in Frankfurt. We have special agreements in place to respect the attorney-client privilege. So all of this is controlled and, of course, gets deleted after a while. We don't train on your data. So this is a legal, compliant environment that you can use. If you're in the US, same. It will only be stored there, and we will delete it after the period. So that means you can use it for more like trustworthy questions, but it also means that you can upload more compliant and more confidential information. So, for example, we can upload a document. I will use a claim, and I just use a claim that I will randomly pick here from my demo content. So maybe we take, I don't know, this one here. It seems to be a bigger one. So we have a claim that is in a PDF, and we can then go to Beamon and start asking this. The situation here would be you're in a law firm, you're an in-house team, somebody sends you this and wants to have a phone call on it, and now you have 2 minutes to get ready. You want to get prepared. So you ask, give me a summary of the claim, and you ask that. And then Beamon will give you a summary of the claim, and come up with that. So while it does that, I want to show you something. So you see here this little thing summarizing the attachment up here. This is our part that shows what Beamon is currently doing. So Beamon has different modes. So it can do summaries, it can do comparison, it can do research. Of course, it has the ability to search the web. So there are a number of things that Beamon can do, and it will select the right mode to solve the problem based on what you tell it. And that means that this agentic capability, the truly like independent selection of what to do, is something that Beamon will select, and it will display it though by writing here what it does. So you're used to this maybe by more classic chat programs like Perplexity, where it tells you actually what it does and what it researches. So the moment you, for example, enable the web search, it will give you the sources where it looks for that information. I will show you this in a second, but it will always tell you which mode it selects and be a bit transparent about this agentic capability. This is relevant if you ask several questions. For example, summarize the claim, but also translate a part of that and also give me the main information about something, and maybe if this is okay under UK law. So you have like a research question, summary question, a translation question all in one, then it needs to basically differentiate those and come up with an answer. So Beamon can do all of those things. This is something that becomes more and more standard in tools, but it's hard to do and it's not easy. So in our example here, we summarize the claim. I want to show you that this may look simple, but on the other hand, this is already an 80 pages PDF. If you use publicly available software, you have always the pages limit and the data limit. We have built this for lawyers, so our limits are not entirely waived, but they're really high. So this is made for due diligence, this is made for big review projects, which means you can have thousands of documents that you review at once and that you also quiz at once. There's no real limitation that you upload a document that contains hundreds of thousands of pages. That is not an issue. So you can do that, and Beamon will work fine in this. So I showed you this claim here that we uploaded. We can ask questions on the claim. We could translate it. There are a number of other things that you can do, and I want to show you 2 more things that Assist has in the different modi. So one of the things it can do, it can compare. People want this regularly. So let's, for example, go into a document like an NDA, and we use an NDA here, and we add an NDA playbook. So let's use, for example, an NDA playbook we created for a demo. It's a fairly long one. You'll see it in a second. And we compare the NDA against that playbook, and we ask Beamon, please compare, analyze. I don't say compare, I analyze it, analyze the document based on the playbook. Be extensive. I tell it like, be really like, put some power behind this. Don't make it simple. Be detailed. And then I want the results in a table. Create a table with the results, and also add a column to the table that tells us which clause is best suited for UK commercial law. So let's go. So what you see here is that Beamon will jump into the assignment, will read both documents, and then come up with a summary. I will let it do its job for a second, and while it does that, I will tell you that you're free to play with this. There's a demo available if you want to have it, and my only advice for everybody looking into AI, test everything that's out there. As a minimum, the bigger tools, just because you want to get a feeling about how good they are and what they're actually doing. So it will go through the thing here and start analyzing the NDAs based on the playbook. While it does that, I want to show you why it takes so much time, because this is the playbook. So Richard, don't be scared. We created a big NDA review playbook, which is like a big PDF, and you don't expect this to actually be read by a human. But the beauty of AI is you don't have to read it, because you can just like throw it out and have the AI actually review this. So this is one of the use cases we have seen a couple of times in corporates, that people say, I want to start somewhere and this is my number one thing, so I will do it. So it goes through this and actually does a hard job in reviewing our stuff. We will have it work on this. Finally, it gets our table. So now look on the bottom left. Here we get our table that we asked for as a summary, and we also get a suitability for UK commercial law. So people who need an AI assistant that is basically working out of the box, this is definitely an option. And I have to say, like, thank you to the team. These things are like always working with customer feedback and a lot of hard tech work, so to get it in. So this is how this works. I'll pause here for a quick second and say this is Assist. It can do a number of things. When this thing gets live, it's possible we already have a new mode. Things work fast here. You have information available that is in the BRYTER, like pre-trained data. You have public available information, and we are increasingly adding content to this. So you're actually able to have additional web and live content in the tool available for the reasoning. Now I want to show you something special. Assist works in here in the browser, but I know that lawyers love their Word documents, and so we put it into MS Word as well. I will briefly share this just to give you flavor and show what it looks like. So I have my my draft document here for a referral agreement. This is in English, made for demos, and you have your assistant in here. So you can also ask it directly in the document and work in the document. Some of those things are becoming more and more powerful. So it's almost like normal that you have something like this in the market. So we built it. I will show you what it can do. For example, I marked this clause here and I say make the clause shorter, add a damage clause to the benefit of BRYTER, and let's see what Assist does. It will make this structure here a little bit shorter and add the damage clause. I can immediately say add it to the document, and the tool will do so. So you see that we have now added this clause here in a markup mode directly into Word. So this enables us to have the assist power in here. Usually this is the point when we do a live demo where people ask, well, two questions. One, can I have content in here? Two, can I have my own documents in here? Yes, of course. That's the whole purpose of this. So I will go back to the desktop version, the browser version, and you will see that the core of BRYTER and Beamon here is actually a document management system. Yeah. So if you actually look into the core, you have documents in here and folders that you are able to fill with your own content, either because you want to have this as a referenceable template, or because you want to review them, or because you want to ground your information into those folders. So you're able to upload information into Beamon and then work with that. So it's a little bit boring to start with the DMS. This is why I didn't want to start there. But I think the DMS is sort of the central thing about that, because if you reviewed contracts, you want to find them at a central spot. You want to work in there. And this is sort of what lawyers sometimes like to have as their sort of home. So we have a document management system in here where you would sometimes start your journey or make folders available. And that gets me from Assist, where you can like attach your folders and chat with your folders. It gets me to extract. Because what happens if your client sends you over 50 contracts and says, here, they're in the folder, I wanted information here. I will show you what that means. So BRYTER also has an extract the grid review, so a due diligence review software that has the engine of Assist, but in a prepared way that you can use it at scale across many documents. So I will zoom here a little bit just to give you a bit of a better view, and show you what that means. So a grid view is, if you are not familiar with the term, is basically a table that contains a different question on documents. So for example, here, does a real estate contract contain a right of first refusal? And then you have the ability to say no or yes. So somebody built this grid here for a due diligence review. I think we have like 30 questions here, so it's a fairly long one. And let's just say, we want to do two things. We want to add a question, right? Like, so we want to add a column. Remember that I started the demo with a change of control clause. I just know that this one is missing actually from the DD. So just because I like it, I will add it. Change of control. And I will say, does the agreement contain a change of control clause? I keep it simple for the demo and will not specify. We could, but we don't have to now. And I select the format. There are several formats available. This is very important for further data processing, that you have it structured later. So I will now keep it binary and say like just yes and no. And see what I did here on the top right. I said change of control, and we have two red crosses, meaning that both documents don't have a change of control, apparently. But let's add some documents, okay? So let's just like throw in a couple of more. I add three. Keep it simple, but you see what happens here. We have three documents that are now being reviewed, and the content is being filled in. And well, you see that Honor Capital lease agreement in here does have apparently a change of control clause. So let's click on it. And now you see how the validation screen works. We can zoom in a bit here to make it better visible. So in the lease agreement that is now here, we can click on the reference here and it will jump to the clause. And let's have a look here. It's the clause 15 and then 15.7, and it says if the lessee divides, merges, or consolidates into or with or sells or transfer any of a substantial part of its assets to or enters into any partnership or joint venture other than in the ordinary course of business with, etc. That is your change of control clause here. So without making it more boring about the details of due diligence review, you get the gist. What we can do is we can review these contracts at scale in a fast way and get it immediately updated. So we just threw in these contracts and here they are, and we reviewed them. There are different screens available, how you want to do the review. So there's the old due diligence view also, where you can basically confirm that those are correct and all these things. That's all part of the review desktop. I can't focus here today. What I want to show you now are two things that make BRYTER special. So, we talked about AI, and then we talked about automation and how AI and automation actually merge. So, I don't know, we believe that in 3 to 5 years, every lawyer will have a tool like this at their disposal. It's too good to not have it. And frankly, also, all these tools are too affordable not to buy them. Our joke is always, if you buy this, you just need to save 15 minutes a month to make it worth. And I think that's something that's worth the investment. But what is the future of this? Like, is chat gonna rule everything? Will agents be so good in assist, for example, that the agent will behind the scenes always do it entirely independently? Maybe yes, but not today. And also, if it does it, we want to be able to change what the agent does, and we want to control it and define it and kind of work there. So from the sheer power of AI, we want to go to a little bit of determinism and kind of put it on guardrails. And this is what we do now. So what makes Beamon special is that you can automate further and basically have end-to-end solutions built. We don't call those agents because technically they're not agents. They start in an agentic way, but then they go into a workflow automation that is very deterministic and tells you what it does. Yeah, you can trigger it in an autonomous way, sure, but it's not a full agent in the strict sense of the term. But I will show you one example. So just to make it fun, I will show you, for example, a clean-cut DD report. So we have our lease agreements that we have extracted from our due diligence. So you have the information in here, and you just click on generate a report. So what we did before this demo is we uploaded a template to the tool. The tool basically determined the variables, and then it fills in the variables based on your review result. So the classic due diligence report gets filled out. You have your document generated. It's not super long, it's 7 pages long, but you get it just done. Why would you use that? Well, you have a client who asks you to review things. You do it with the Beamon extract, but then you don't want to write by hand. You don't want to do this yourself. You don't want to send it over. You just click a button and you get your report out. Because it's BRYTER, you can also automate further. You can send it via email. Richard, I don't have your email address ready here, so I'll use mine, but for the sake of you understanding. So let's do it and send it out, and the job is done, and our due diligence report is written. So clearly, document generation is a big use case in these cases, but there are more use cases that are helpful. One that I want to mention is approvals and general like business rules that you want to apply. So imagine that somebody wants to review every case that comes in or every issue that they deal with on a specific topic. And in these situations, you want to add a rule like this, which you can add to the grid, for example.
Thanks, Michael. Really great overview. So many different features to look at, and there's a lot more to come, as you can tell. Just one question. If you're watching this and you would like to get hold of this and all the various features, how does a lawyer bring this into their system?
Well, these are the new days of AI. You sign up to a demo with BRYTER, you get sent a link, you click it, use self-service, and you're in. Beamon can be used sort of in a self-service way in 5 minutes, the same way you use ChatGPT, and then try it out, frankly. You can use it yourself. Beamon is available for purchase as of now, and also available for trial. So there's really nothing you need to install, nothing you need to do. I think the Word plugin needs to be installed by your IT, so this may take time depending on how big your org is. But other than that, you can just use it on the fly. If you need integration into like the classic iManage and all this stuff, then sure, this needs time. But other than that, it's an hour to get you started, and then connections into BRYTER. Sure, the usual one that depends on your team and the workflows.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, that's all we have time for, but I just want to say thank you very much, Michael, and I'm sure we'll see you again soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you all. Take care.